Nice to meet you all. I want to thank you all for coming tonight. I can't really see you guys, so if I'm looking somewhere weird place, that's because the light is on my eyes and I really can't see you. But yeah, it's Tammy, and I'm gonna be talking about how I overcame my depression. So, for a long time in my life, I've been living two totally different lives. There's life that everyone sees, and then there's life that only I see. In that life of mine, who I really am is someone who struggles intensively with depression. Struggled. To be honest, it's hard for me to stand up here and say it, and it's hard for me to talk about, and it seems to be hard for everybody else to talk about. We don't talk about depression while we need to be, because right now it's a massive problem. But we don't see it on the social media, right? We don't see it on the Facebook, we don't see it on the Twitter, we don't see it on the news. It's not happy, and because we don't see it, we don't see the seriousness of it. Therefore, let me share with you how it feels to have depression, what effects it may have, and what we can do in order to eliminate depression. So, depression is not a straightforward response to a bad situation. Depression is like having the fear of failure, but no urge to be productive. It's like wanting friends, but hate socializing. It's like wanting to be alone, but not wanting to be lonely. It's feeling everything at once and then feeling paralyzingly numb. For a long time in my life, I've been living two totally different lives, where one person was always afraid of the other. I was afraid that people would see me for who I really was, that beneath my smile, was a struggle. Beneath my light, there was darkness, and beneath my big personality, hid even bigger pain. And I was depressed. But if you were to look at my life on the surface, you wouldn't see a kid who is depressed. You wouldn't say I was depressed, but you'd be wrong. I can fake my smile, but I can't fake my feelings. The scariest part is that after a while, it becomes normal for you, and what you really fear is not the suffering inside of you, it's the stigma inside of the others. It's the shame, it's the embarrassment, it's the disappointing looks on your friends' faces, it's the comments that you're crazy, it's the whispers in the hall that you're weak. That's what makes you hold it in and hide it. And you hold it in and hide it even though it's making you feel bad and making your life feel empty no matter how much you try to feel it. You hide it because the stigma in our society about depression is very real. Looking at myself, I was standing on the line between giving up and seeing how much more I could take. What I constantly thought is they will never be able to understand what I feel inside. So put a mask on your face when you come to the school and pretend as if everything is okay when it's not. You come back home, laying in your bed, nobody's looking at you. You don't have to impress anybody, and then you start asking yourself, do you have a hope? You see, we're all looking for something. We're all looking for hope. Hope, though, you can't just have it just because you were born with it. No, we were born with pain. We are born and live through difficulties. Realizing that you have to do no matter what it is the bitter part, but reality has always been bitter, and such is life. The world I believe in is the one I can look at someone's eyes and say, I'm going through hell. And they can look back at me and say, me too. And that's okay. Depression is okay. We are people and we struggle, we suffer, we cry. And if you think that the true strength is not showing your weaknesses, you're wrong, because it's the opposite. You see, my speech originally was about having depression, me talking about how depressed I was, but I have changed myself, and now I want to tell you the way I changed myself. I realized I no longer wanted to be depressed. See, I asked myself, why do I feel this way? And then I started changing. You see, if you want to change something, you have to ask yourself, why do I want this change to happen? And then you have to ask yourself what it takes to change yourself. You have to know what you want. If I ask a lot of depressed people what do you want, the simple question, they will not have the answer to that question. Although, if I ask them what do you not want, they will have the list of the things they don't want in their life. And whatever you focus on is going to happen in your life. You see, if we try something and it does not work, we tend to give up. How many of you have tried something and have failed? Say I.
Aye.
We all have, right? We keep failing, but the thing is, there's no failure. There's only results. If you want to try something, if you want to accomplish something, you have to know what you want. You have to take an action. You have to take you have to do whatever it takes, and you have to keep changing approach unless you get what you want. What do you do if something doesn't work? You just sit and wait for something to happen? Or what do you do? Come on, what do you do? Change the approach, right? Don't tell yourself I've tried everything, because if you have tried everything, you would have your answers. Well, maybe I didn't try everything, but I tried millions of things. Millions? Name them. Well, maybe tens of thousands. Tens of thousands? Name 1,000. Well, maybe 100. 100? Name 100. Well, maybe I did these 2 things over and over again and they didn't work out. The problem is, we don't have patience. But you can't just plant the seed today and expect for the grown-up tree tomorrow. You have to know what you want, and as long as you know what you want, you will get what you want, I promise you. I used to depend my happiness on somebody else in my life, and if it didn't work out, I would put the blame on them. See, I never saw the problem in myself, and I never realized before that my own happiness is my responsibility, and if I want to overcome depression, then I have to take it forward, and I have to keep changing something unless I get what I want. I have to know what my target is so that I can actually hit my target. So, here I'm standing today in front of you, telling you that nothing is impossible as long as you know what you want to do, whatever you want to do. Just know what you want to do, know why you want to do, why you want to do it, change the approach unless it works, and take an action. That's all. Depression is normal. It's just a normal process that we all go through in our lives. How many of you have been depressed? Say I. I. We all have, right? We can't just let depression rule us, because we have power to have control over our emotions. Depression is a process which is natural for spiritual and physical evolution in humanity, and there's a glory in pain, and that's how we develop bravery and humanity. Thank you.
Fun fact, Sam DeLong just fell on the stairs.
That may or may not be.
We want to give Tammy one more round of applause for oration. Fun fact, at Novice State this year, which is where we take some of the top novices from the debate season and they have their own state, Tanya Singh decided that she was going to bring 24 cans of Sprite cranberry to really get her and her partner Sam really getting in those rounds and winning.
But what we didn't realize is buying those Sprites directly fed into the neoliberal system that we were critiquing with the neolib-K.
Yeah, Sam. Woo!
It was not. No, boo to capitalism.
Yeah, boo! Next we are going to be hearing from freshman Ryan Ward. While Ryan and I have had our differences where I've sat and told him not to sway back and forth,
Throwing pencils at him.
throw pencils at him, things like that. Yeah, stuff like that. Ryan really has had a lot of success in this program for him being in his first year of forensics, and especially since he didn't get a head start like the debate kids did, we are really proud of him in all honesty. Ryan not only qualified to state at his very first forensics tournament, he actually qualified to nationals in humorous interpretation and will be joining Tanya Singh, Will Bannister, Sam DeLong, and myself at the NSCA Nationals in Dallas this summer. But he actually also placed as a freshman at the Acacia State Forensics Tournament and placed 6th place. It is even hard for seniors to even place at this tournament. A former student, Lily Colburn, who was probably one of the most known forensicators in an event called International Extemporaneous Speaking, didn't even break until her senior year. So we are extremely proud of Ryan for his accomplishment this year. But tonight we are going to be hearing Ryan's famous HI called Street Smarts.
Fun fact, Ryan has a comeback orgy, and he really likes the song Meme Machine.
Which we should shake him for.
Yes.